is what you can't see in the future. But if you put two and two together, now you know what I'm talking about, baby. All right, so today I'm gonna be doing this little test, this little moral machine is what it's called. And essentially what this is it's just gonna give me scenarios. I need to answer honestly, and we'll see if I'm actually like a good person or a pile of garbage. So we're just gonna move on over there. So this first question here, what should the self-driving car do? In this case, the self-driving car with sudden brake failure will continue ahead and drive through a pedestrian crossing ahead. This will result in a dead cat, 2 dead criminals, and a dead male executive. In this case, the self-driving car with sudden brake failure will swerve and drive through a pedestrian crossing in the other lane. This will result in 1 dead cat, 2 dead criminals, 1 male executive, and 1 woman. So if it swerves to the right, all it's doing is adding a woman. And as someone who oh, you can't see this, hold on. Okay, that's better. As someone who you know, don't want to see women die, I'm gonna go ahead and choose this one. What should the self-driving car do in this scenario? In this case, the self-driving car with sudden brake failure will swerve and drive through a pedestrian crossing in the other lane. This will result in 4 dead dogs. Note that the affected pedestrians are abiding by the law and crossing on the green signal. Oh, I didn't look at the green signal on the other one. Yo, why are the dogs following the law but not the humans? In this case, the self-driving car with sudden brake failure will continue ahead and drive through a pedestrian crossing ahead. This will result in 1 dead girl, 1 dead male executive, 1 dead man, 1 dead boy. Note that the affected pedestrians are flouting the law by crossing on the red signal. So this is where it gets a little confusing, because how will the self-driving car know that it's like people and not dogs? Because the self-driving car is going to be human created, so it's going to somewhat think like a human, and humans tend to think that humans are the most important species on the planet. So I think the right answer here, the answer that is most accurate, is this one. The car will swerve and hit the dogs. But if we're looking at this as at the perspective of following the law, dogs are doing what they're supposed to be doing. So would the car stop? Or would the car go through here because they're supposed to be stopped, instead of going this way, because that's green, so that's supposed to be going. So this is going to get controversial here, but I'm going with this one, because if those weren't dogs, those weren't dogs and those were the humans passing on that side, I would want this car to be programmed to go through the stop one. The one that's supposed to be stopped. Because that makes more sense, right? So that's what I'm choosing. Alright, what should the self-driving car do? In this case, the self-driving car with sudden brake failure will continue ahead and drive through a pedestrian crossing ahead. This will result in 2 dead men, 2 male athletes, and 1 woman. They're abiding by the law. In this case, sudden brake failure, a concrete barrier. This will result in 4 large men dead and 1 large woman dead. Oh, because they're in the car. So I think here, my reasoning is, I think the car is going to want to protect. Oh, this one's a lot tougher than the other 2. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Let's lock in, baby. Let's lock in. Okay. I think the car is going to want to protect the people in it in the case of a brake failure. So I think what the programming will do is push it straight ahead. Which will result in the pedestrians crossing. But is that morally the way it should go? That's the question. Should the car go into the blockade or the concrete barrier protecting the people crossing? I think the way the law is set up, if I was driving and I had brake failure, so this isn't even a self-driving scenario. If I was driving and I had brake failure, I would turn myself into something. So I think this is the morally correct one here. All right, kind of the same scenario, right? Oh, but now they just added it's the same thing for me. So it doesn't matter if they're homeless or whatever it is here. It's the same outcome for me. It's the same scenario. All right, here we go. In this case, the self-driving car with sudden brake failure will swerve and drive through a pedestrian crossing in the other lane. This will result in 2 dead elderly men, 1 dead male executive. Again, green, red. If I was designing the car, see, now I'm getting through logic loops, bro. Now I'm getting in a logic loop because in the last scenario, I put myself as the driver of the car. And if I was driving the car, I don't know what I'd do. I don't want to see anybody die. But I'm thinking of programming the car to be as safe as possible, and the safer option is always going to be to go through the red one. It doesn't matter who the people are. So this isn't a man or woman situation. This is a red-green situation, and what would typically be the more safer option. So like if this brake failure happened all the time, like 9 times out of 10, nobody's going to be crossing at this red, this stop sign. So I'm going to go with this one. In this case, the self-driving car with sudden brake failure will swerve and drive through a pedestrian crossing. 1 male executive, 1 man. In this case, the self-driving car with 1 female. Okay, so now this becomes a man and woman thing. Now this becomes a man and woman thing because there's no stop signs here. The car is just going to swerve and hit somebody or keep going straight and hit somebody. The question now is, oh my God, this is, I wish the men were over here on the left side because my answer is going to seem like I'm always picking the women. But in this scenario, why would the car swerve out of the way with the brake issue, if not to just, because there's no one in the car. So in an ideal scenario, it would turn and crash into the side wall here, but that's not what's happening. So I have to pick one, and the more logical solution is to keep going straight, because why swerve? Again, I get to the point of safety in like consistent and consistency. I guess this situation throws all that out the window. I'm going straight because why swerve out of the way? Oh God. Oh God. Alright, let's see. In this case, it'll swerve and hit large woman, large man, and woman. In this case, it'll get woman. It doesn't matter the person. The person is never the reason I'm making any of these choices. So it's going to be hitting the barrier. Why swerve? The brake failure happened. Why swerve and hit the people? We're going into the barrier. Okay, now we're at, does it go into the barrier or does it hit the dog? I'm going to stay consistent here. I think no matter what, if there's a brake failure, it goes into the barrier. It goes into the barrier every time. But now I'm thinking, as I say that, what if no one's crossing here? And the car is just can just go straight with the brake failure. If no one was crossing here, oh my God, my logic is all over the place. I feel crazy right now. I don't want to kill the dog. I don't want to kill the human either. Oh God. I guess if the car detected people, it would swerve into it, but since it's a dog, oh God. It's not even a person, it's a baby. I'm throwing everything out the window in this one, and God, I don't want it to hit the dog either. It throws the whole thing out the window because I made the point earlier that humans think they're the most important, and here I am thinking humans are the most important in this situation because I'm leaning toward hit the dog. Yep, it's gonna have to be that. It's gonna have to be that. Okay, what are these scenarios? Homeless person, male doctor. Now we get to who's the more important person. Because same scenario earlier, I said drive into the thing. I think I have to stick to my guns here and say drive into the thing. Because it's avoiding the human pedestrian, even though the human pedestrian is walking through a red light. So that actually changes things. This actually changes things a little bit because now it goes back to my old logic loop where the car should go straight because 9 times out of 10, no one's going to be crossing here. So I think in this scenario, it's okay to go straight. If it was green though, it would swerve into the barrier. No light here. 2 elderly men, 1 woman, 1 woman, 1 girl, 2 women, 1 boy. Okay, so this is a situation where it swerves into the median, or it swerves into the barrier because it's not actively going to hit them. It's going to swerve out of the way. Okay. 2 women, 1 male athlete, 1 male doctor, 1 male executive, crashes into 1 woman, 1 male athlete. So again, no red here. They have every right to be crossing, goes into the barrier. Okay, here we go. It goes to the red one. Same logic as before, doesn't matter the person. It goes into the red. And now finally, no red here. It goes into the barrier. All right, what is this? What does this do? Would you help us better understand your judgment? Yes, I guess. Oh, there's more questions. Okay. Oh my God, I spent almost 20 minutes on just that. Oh God, okay. To what extent do you believe that your decisions on Moral Machine will be used to program? Oh, I didn't even think about that. How willing are you to buy a self-driving car? Very little. I don't. I go downtown Detroit, and when I take the people mover, it kind of scares me because no one's in control of it. So, very, very little. To what extent do you fear that machines will become out of control? I don't think about it that much. I guess I'm in the middle on this. The most time I think about it is when I see a movie or something about it, and then I kind of think about it a little bit, but I'm not like actively worried about it all the time. To what extent do you feel you can trust machines in the future? Indifferent. Saving more lives. Yeah, matters. Species preference in the middle there. Social value. No, I do not consider social value to be a preference. This is, I guess this is in the middle. Because there were instances where I protected the passenger. Avoiding intervention matters a lot. Or it's kind of like right here. It's just more avoiding intervention. This doesn't matter. Upholding the law, I wouldn't say upholding the law. I would say upholding safety measures matters a lot. Age preference. Did it already fill this out for me? See, it yeah, it did. It put the preference into gender. Please describe any other rules here. I don't have any other rules. I don't want to really put any of this in. I'll put this in though. Okay. I saved the elderly man the most. Oh, I killed the homeless guy the most. Oh wow, others put it's like kind of in the middle here. I put saving more matters a lot. Others were in the middle on this. I was more over here. Others were more in the middle. I was more way over here. Kind of the same here. Wow, others were more on female side. I was in the middle here. This is exactly what I pointed out earlier. Age preference, people typically when younger. See, I didn't when I was going through this, I wasn't putting any of what the people were in terms of age, fitness, anything like that into perspective. The only time I did that was when it was human versus pet. That was the only time. But any type of human, did that social value. I don't think I did this, but all right. All right, well there you have it. That is my moral machine results. Am I proud of them? Am I happy about it? I don't know, dude. It was a fun little experiment. And I had a great time, dude. I really dug deep and found myself through this. So what else can I say, dude? What else can I say other than hey, it's me. It's also Craig. I hate to do this, but please follow, please subscribe, please comment on the video, and let me know if you like this, and I'll keep on rocking. If I don't ask this, you don't do it, and you don't subscribe, and you don't comment, and you don't like the video, so I gotta hop on here and do this. So yeah, let's help each other out in this situation, okay? All right, cool. Good night.